Not on My Watch is arguably probably one of my favorites on the album because it's so daring and different and aggressive, and it's just unique, and that's something I'm always searching for, not only in a song that I'm writing and singing, but a song I want to listen to. It's not necessarily a diss track, but it's kind of addressing, the haters that don't think you can do it or that want to see you fall, but more so than that, it's really addressing that like inner devil on your shoulder, that that self-doubt that we all have of like, you're not good enough or you're not going to make it, and I think in those moments the only thing that we ever need to do is turn that into fuel to get us through to the next step. And I think this album is hopefully that kind of fuel and inspiration for anybody that's ever in front of a wall that they need to get through. I thought of this clock, I thought of Not on My Watch, and I thought of 12 things that somebody would say to me: give up, back down, fit in, sell out, move on, step off, hang up, stay down, fall in, clock out, hold on, hold off. And it just ended up being really cool to put that in the post-chorus, and it's actually my producer, Jay Joyce, singing that on the album. I wrote this song with my brother, Jacob, and a guy named Nick Furlong. And I don't know if I could have written this with anybody else because we were all just willing to go anywhere this day. And I think we started stumbling on all these different melodies, and the pre-chorus never repeats, and then it's just very relentless, and it's something I'm really proud of, and it's definitely a reminder to keep going and don't always listen to that person on your shoulder, but if you do, turn it into fuel. Yeah, I bite off a little more than I can chew. Lucky for me, I like the taste of black and blue. I might be on the ground tonight, a little lost without a light, but don't underestimate the fight in me. Just when you thought I was down for the count, when you were ready to count me out, I come back a little stronger, cashing on my karma. Ooh, 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 ooh. Just when you thought I would call it a night, hanging it up and out to dry, I guess no one ever warned you. Somebody should have told you that shit is not on my watch. Hell nah, that shit is not on my watch. I bet you thought you had me picked, huh? You thought that I was at my edge, no. Yeah, well, just give me a second, and I'll be showing you me you ain't ever seen. It's like I'm walking on a tightrope. Oh, but I don't even mind though. Yeah, it's just the way of life, so I know nothing's ever gonna be the end of me. Just when you thought I was down for the count, when you were ready to count me out, I come back a little stronger, cashing on my karma. Ooh, 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 ooh. Just when you thought I would call it a night, hanging it up and out to dry, I guess no one ever warned you. Somebody should have told you that shit is not on my watch. That shit is not on my watch. Hell no. So when you thought I was down for the count, when you were ready to count me out, I come back a little stronger, cashing on my karma. Ooh, 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 ooh. Just when you thought I would call it a night, hanging it up and out to dry, I guess no one ever warned you. Somebody should have told you that shit is not on my watch. Hell nah, that shit is not on my watch. It's like I'm walking on a tightrope. just the way I thrive. So I know nothing's ever gonna be the enemy. Hell nah, that shit is not on my watch. That shit is not on my. So whatever forever is kind of my way of tricking myself and y'all into a wedding song. Typically a wedding song is like 6/8 kind of waltzy feel, so you can first dance to it. But for whatever reason, we wanted to just get a little bit more groovy on this song. I wrote it with Laura Veltz and Jordan Reynolds. And I had actually written with Laura like 2 or 3 weeks prior to this, and she had thrown this idea out to me, and it didn't quite manifest itself yet. She just said something about like, I don't know what it is, but everyone talks about forever and we give it to people, but like no one's ever really held that in their hands. Nobody really knows what forever is, and why do we always use that word and promise it to people, And I think that day it was just I couldn't even wrap my head around it, and so it needed to simmer a little bit. And we got together like 3 weeks later, and I was like, "Hey, did you ever write that forever idea?" And she's like, "No." And I was like, "Let's do that today." The melody, people throw around forever, like that was kind of her thing, and then that instantly informed the groove and the chords and things. And I really, kind of took a back seat. Like they were on fire that day, and obviously I added my little touch to it. But sometimes being a good co-writer is just shutting up for once, which is really hard for me. One of the other interesting things about that song is that we didn't have the title Whatever Forever Is. It was just really the concept that we were writing about. And so sometimes when you don't know where you're going, it's really hard to get there and know that it's right. But I'll never forget this moment. We were kind of getting to the end of the chorus, and she's like, loving on me just like this, and for whatever forever is. And she's just jumping up and down. I'm like, yes, we did it. And it's a really big concept, if you really get down to the nuts and bolts of it. The other part that I really liked about it is it kind of starts out as like a cynic's love song. It's like, I didn't really know what forever is. I don't know why people throw that around. They don't know what it means, But as soon as I saw you, it made sense. And the you is my wife, Leah. And that's really what I thought about when we wrote this song. And so it's kind of my way of tricking all of us into a wedding song without it being a ballad. And I hope you guys like it. People throw around forever, but no one really knows what it means. They say they're gonna stay together until the mountains crumble into the sea. Well, to tell the truth, I didn't know why. Some people do, 'cause baby, I couldn't understand forever. I guess I never had the chance till I held it in my hands. But one look at you and girl, I got it down. Can't help but that it's falling out of my mouth. Guess I had to wrap my arms around it, to wrap my head, to wrap my heart around it, yeah. One kiss and maybe that was it for me. Now I just wanna spend eternity with you, loving on me just like this. Forever, forever is. Girl, if I could take a second, yeah, and try to put forever into words, yeah, what if what we got is heaven? And I get to hold an angel here on earth. Then, when kingdom comes and we close our eyes, and it's all the same on the other side, I think I'm gonna like forever. If this is how it's gonna be tonight until infinity. One look at you and girl, I got it down. Can't help but that it's falling out of my mouth. I guess I had to wrap my arms around it, to wrap my head, to wrap my heart around it, yeah. One kiss and maybe that was it for me. Now I just wanna spend eternity with you, loving on me just like this. For whatever forever is. People throw around forever. Yeah, but no one really knows what it means. Yeah, but one look at you and girl, I got it down. Can't help it that it's falling out my mouth. I guess I had to wrap my arms around it, to wrap my head, to wrap my heart around it. Oh, one kiss and maybe that was it for me. Now I just wanna spend eternity with you, loving on me just like this. For whatever forever is. So Who's Gonna Hold Ya is definitely on the brighter side of all the songs I've ever written. I usually kind of lean into the sadder, more emotional side of things, but in the last 3 years, the person I've become since Dark Horse is pretty damn happy, and I think this song is kind of making sense of that. It's just letting somebody know that when everything else is gone, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be there for you. It's like, you can't love somebody at their best if you don't also want to love them at their worst, right? I wrote it with Jordan Reynolds and Austin Taylor Smith in the back of the bus at like 2 a.m. in St. Louis, I think, after a show, which is one of the very few times I've brought people out on the road with me, just because there's so much going on and there's so many things to do that it's really hard to devote 2, 3, 4 hours to a song and really serve the song. But those are both two of my really best friends, and so it was really just like hanging out and existing. And the inspiration from the song kind of started with a conversation I was having with my wife Leah's father. I didn't grow up very spiritual, or at least in the sense of church or the Bible, but I do believe in bigger things, and I have my own definitions for probably the same things that everyone else does. But he was kind of challenging me to who would I be and what would I do without the purpose of singing and writing songs for the rest of the world? Like, if that went away one day, where would I put my purpose in? And I think it was just something that inspired me to put that into the form of a love song. And I thought about my wife, and this is the one that came out. 2, 3. When the last note, last verse, last song fades out, when the last glow and the last shine, last light burns out, when you realize money don't really grow on a tree, and you find out love is really all you need. Well, who's gonna hold you when everything else is letting go? Who's gonna know you better than anyone? Who's gonna show up when you need that someone by your side when the rest of the story's told? Well, I hope there's no doubt in your mind. Who's gonna hold you? Waking up, working hard, doing good ain't enough. If the last drop of your hopes, your dreams dries up, if you ever stuck anywhere without a prayer and it don't feel like home, if you don't know what tomorrow holds, at least you know who's gonna hold you when everything else is letting go. Who's gonna know you better than anyone? Who's gonna show up when you need that someone by your side when the rest of the story's told? Well, I hope there's no doubt in your mind. Who's gonna hold you? Ooh, you know, I know. This cold world, it can be so fleeting. Don't you worry, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be me, yeah. It's gonna be me. Who's gonna hold you? Yeah, who's gonna know you better than anyone before? Who's gonna show up when you need that someone by your side when the rest of the story's told? Well, I hope there's no doubt in your mind. Who's gonna hold you? Who's gonna hold you?